of leveraging our God-given talents. All the professors that we're seeing here today, the business people that we're seeing here today, the doctors that we're seeing here today, we could leverage ourselves on a national framework in our communities here. Not only in Maryland, not only in Atlanta, not only in LA, but across the board. That is what we call the CPS, ladies and gentlemen. Our guiding principles center on respect for the laws of the land, on transparency, on non-discrimination, on universal freedoms. Those are our national guiding principles. We respect the law, the Geneva Conventions, the Declaration of Human Rights. We believe in the power of every Cameroonian, big or small, old or young, every Cameroonian. We believe in the power of every Cameroonian to come on board, to give back to the community. The CPS, however, is not a political party. It's not a political party. We do not support the Republicans, we do not support Democrats, we do not support socialists. We do not support the CPDM, we don't support the SDM. We don't support anybody trying to run for office. So there is no way we are going to be called a political party. We are very apolitical. The institution is working for leadership. We are working for leadership, economic development, and national unity. That's what we stand for. The mission of the CPS is permanent. It does not flip-flop depending on the nature of the prevailing cultural or political winds. It's permanent. If you look at other institutions, the Brookings Institute, the Imani Center for Democracy in Ghana, and all these other places, their policies and the objectives are permanent. It doesn't matter who the next president is or where he or she is from, their policies are the same. And that's what we're trying to emulate. Just that nationalistic framework, void of any cultural or political affiliations. You all may be very aware of the many projects that we are doing. If you have gone to the CPS website, you've seen the many projects across the country, the symposium. These forums, as you know, allow us to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. We want to find ways of being part of the solution. I'm sure every Cameroonian in this house today is very smart, is very talented, and we must agree, we should, I think we all agree that being here today we are a very privileged group. At the same time, we must agree that our Achilles heel, what prevents us from advancing ourselves as a collective body, is what our very own Celestin Munger, who is at the World Bank, has described as part of Africa's 4 deficits. The reason why Africa as a whole is not advancing is what he has termed Africa's 4 deficits. A deficit in self-esteem, in us not believing in ourselves. A deficit in knowledge and learning. Most of us don't have that deficit yet because we've had the PhDs and people are going for all the degrees in the land. That's not our problem. We have a deficit in leadership. That cannot be debated. That is solid. And we also have a deficit in communication. These deficits, some more so than others, indeed hinder our collective progress. They prevent us from advancing in a united front. We must ask ourselves, we must collectively ask ourselves, just like Okongo wondered, loudly in Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, where are the young suckers that will grow when the old banana tree dies? Where are the young suckers, ladies and gentlemen? I see them in this house, I see them in this hall today, but are we going to step up? Because for damn sure, pardon my French, the old banana tree is going to die. But are we preparing ourselves? Is our community, do we have the institutions, do we have the community, do we all party all the time and don't think about the critical stuff of the land? If we don't think about it, who is going to think about it? So where are the young suckers that will grow when the old banana tree dies? That's a question we must pose to ourselves. We cannot afford to criticize others without having thoroughly examined our individual consciences. We must demonstrate exemplary leadership. in all arenas of society, if we are to be thought of as being credible in any way. We must do that. This analysis is indeed very critical. If we are to have a chance in our society of nurturing the young workers for tomorrow's leadership. So the CPS leader, ladies and gentlemen, our mantra is simple. We work together to nurture leaders and change our communities. We have the Journal of Cameroon Affairs, the official publication of the CPS, which is in progress. This allows us to provide a platform where individuals around the country, professionals, experts in various fields, could publish committee reports, could publish expert opinions on a wide range of issues facing us as a Cameroonian community, where we can get the discourse going. The discourse is important. If we don't have the discourse, we can't move forward. We can't understand the problems to bring forward solutions. So the CPS commissions and supports research on various Cameroonian affairs. That's our goal. A better understanding of these issues and possible solutions is the only way we can think of moving our community forward. Many of you have asked the question right here, in emails, in phone calls, how can you all become involved? Been posing that question all the time. How can I become involved? Some doctors in the house, some that I see around, have made the remark that they work too hard. They work too hard, and I know that, they work too hard. Some people travel around the country a lot. I mean, some people in the house here actually spend 1 week in 3 different continents. I mean, I know that. So they work very hard. They keep asking the question, how can they become involved? What can they do to make a difference? It reminds me of what my mom says all the time, that you will make time for things that are important to you. You make time for things that are important to you. If the CPS is important to you, or if your community is important to you, you make time for that. You make time for your wife if your wife is important to you. You make time for your kids if they are important to you. You do what is important in your life. The question is whether our community is important to us. So you can be very busy. You can have just 3 hours in 1 month to spare. But you can nurture a Cameroonian scholar on various issues about policy initiatives, the scoop behind starting new business ventures. Those are things that we all could do. You don't need to be, you can be busy, you can fly around the world, which we know, that's what happened. But 3 hours I think we can spare in a month. So your stronghold may be in publishing. You can become part of the editorial board for the Journal of Cameroon Affairs. You can become part of the editorial board. You can become a staff writer. You can become a contributor. There are many ways you can put your talents into use. And that's what we're asking of the community. That we should not just keep our talents buried. We should leverage our talents. We all are very gifted, so why do we have to let it rot? Why do you have to let it waste? So that's what we're asking. Just bring your talent up and we'll put it into use. If you don't know what to do with it, we'll help you figure out. And those of you traveling around the country for business meetings and all, I mean, you can also, while you're out there for your business meeting, you can talk to one of your business colleagues to just give, simple $5,000 to the CPS, It goes a long way. That goes a long way. Just think about it. It may just be 10 minutes of your time, just to say, hey, boss, can you spare $5,000? And then just, it could be that easy. So, but it serves a purpose. It serves a purpose. It's not that it's impossible. Those are things that we all could do. And that's what we are trying to see from our community. Some people have asked us, how does the CPS benefit me, Dennis Fortier? How does it benefit me as an individual? What do I get? What do I stand to benefit? And I look I scratch my head and I say, you know what, I'm going to tell you straight up. We are not raising rates. The CPS is not going to pay your mortgage. The CPS is not going to write you a check at the end of the month. Benefit flow from that is not on the CPS budget. He made the trip himself, and all other people, Austin, flying from California, it was out of personal stuff. So the CPS is not going to pay you for stuff.